Hey, hey, we are live. It's my first time doing this. So I'm hoping the tech is going all right, and I hope you can hear me. Hey, friends. If you're here, give me a little wave in the chat so I can see you, or I can see you better. Okay. Cannot see the chat yet. I'm sure there's a button I haven't pressed. We'll see. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I'm super excited you're here. I'm glad I'm, not alone. And that'd be okay too. But I have something that I've been excited to share, just didn't really know how to share it. So we are going to do a little drawing. I've got a peony all set up and ready to illustrate for you or with you. You are more than welcome to draw along. If you've got some watercolor paper, watercolors or watercolor pencils is what I'll be using today. So let's just get started, shall we? You're coming with me. And I'm going to switch my screen around here, going to the drawing board. Let's see. Okay. Hope you can still hear me. So I've got some reference photos, several reference photos, and then I did go ahead, and sketch out with my watercolor pencils just the line drawing. And I have found, I used to use pencil to sketch it first, but it's probably not a genius idea, but when I discovered it or thought about it, I'm like, oh, why didn't I think about this earlier? But I just use my watercolor pencils to do the line drawing, and then when I put the color on, the outline just melds in, so I don't have to go through later and erase any lines. So all that to say, do you want to hear my announcement, or should I start drawing? I've got some pencils over here. So several colors we'll start with. I'm going to do it in pink. Those yellow and golds you saw are mostly for the center here. So if you're here, I know a couple of you are. Will you say something in the chat so I know my chat's working? And I will start putting down some color and let you in on what's going on here. So most of you know me as an illustrator, but I'm a little more than that. I'm a homeschool mom who loves to be outside, and I have survived motherhood mostly by taking my kids outside as much as possible. So yes, I'm an illustrator, and that's not going away. I am still going to be painting. I'm still going to be creating. But over the last season or two, even if I'm honest, I just kept feeling this pull towards something bigger than just sharing my art. I want to talk about why I paint what I paint. And I paint flora and fauna and a lot of things in between. And I still want to do that. Let's see, sharing my thoughts and painting, or coloring as my husband calls it, is more difficult than I thought. Okay, so I am still going to share my illustrations with you, but I'm going to broaden the scope a little. So I want to talk about why I paint what I paint. So I want to talk about nature and faith and getting outside and the importance of getting outside with your kids or with other people if your kids are grown, and just choosing joy in the everyday, even when it's hard, because we all go through hard, don't we? So, I started a new YouTube channel, and it is called Outdoors with Heidi Joy. So, just like this channel is called Illustrating with Heidi Joy, still it's still a big piece of me. It's just Outdoors with Heidi Joy, and I will include drawing and other products that contain my illustrations will be included as well. So that will be where all of that lives now. It is for, I want to say moms, but it doesn't have to be just for moms. It can be for moms who are empty nesters, or it can be for women who want so desperately to be moms. It can even be for dads, if I'm being honest. But you know, the algorithm likes us to niche down and explain who exactly it's for. But it's for anyone really um, who wants to just see the wonder in creation, um, who just wants to be more present in their everyday, and those who just want to feel and remember the moments so that they stick with you. We don't just want to go through life just being, right? I think I'm going to switch to a little bit darker color for these outer ones. But some of these petals are going to just have a light pink on the tips. So I hope you will join me over there. Again, it's Outdoors with Heidi Joy. And you'll just probably get to know me a little bit better because you're just used to seeing my hands. Which I've been totally comfortable with. But I know that to grow, we have to get outside our comfort zones a little, and so that is what I am doing. I hope you'll come with me. Yeah, so my husband calls this coloring. He's not wrong. The first step is coloring. And you don't have to be super careful with this step either. We're just laying down some color, and then we will watch it melt once we get the water. Once we get the water going. I like to put my light color down first, my lightest color, and then I work in layers. So I think I'm gonna grab, I do not have many color pinks, so I kind of have to fake things a little. So here I'll be using red, and I'm just gonna go very lightly because this is pretty pigmented for what it is. So I'm not pressing hard at all. And I just want a little pink. I don't want it to be this magenta that it actually is. So we're just gonna put some shadows in here. I told you I work in layers, but I have learned not to get this first layer wet until I've got some, not all of the shadows, excuse my dog barking, until I've got some of the shadows in, because once you put water on it, they blend together in a really beautiful and organic way. So I think you'll find it. fascinating. If not fascinating, fun. Wish I had some music for you. That would have been smart. Again, I'm just finding the shadows. Doesn't have to be perfect, but in all the different petals. Let's see, where they overlap, that's where it's going to be the darkest. Let me know if you have questions too as we do this. I'm happy to answer questions about drawing or the new channel or life, whatever. I want this to be a little bit of dialogue back and forth. I'm trying to see. I don't have any chats going. So again, if you're here, oh, hey. There's, okay, it just popped on my screen and then it left. So, top chat. Okay, Shireen, I did see you for a second, but I didn't press on your message fast enough, so you disappeared off my screen. I know I should be able to see somewhere where the chats are, but I am painting and trying to tell you stuff, and I'm not techie. So we knew this could go like this. Okay, I am sorry, but it just told me my stream was interrupted. So I'm not sure who interrupted us, but let's just keep going. All right, we're working on shadows. I just love this color peony too. I saw peach and yellow the other day, and I feel like those just aren't colors we see much anymore. But they were in some lady's garden, and I wanted to ask her if I could have a piece, but I didn't. Okay. Trying to do this a little faster. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing about watercolors is you can always add more color or change the color slightly by adding something a little bit different, a little bit unexpected. They're pretty forgiving. Now, I will say I don't use the loose watercolors because I like to have a little more control over where my color goes, and I feel like with pencils I can be a little more detailed. So that's why I choose this medium, but it's not for everybody, and that's okay. You guys, as I'm talking, I'm kind of reminding myself of Bob Ross. Remember him? I thought he was the goofiest guy, but I was still mesmerized by him as a child. Just watching watching him work, but I'm laughing at myself because as I talk, I'm talking in sentence fragments, and that's what he did too, but I get it now. I thought that was kind of why he was weird, is he talked funny. But it's because he was concentrating on two things at once. So, yeah, I am concentrating. Okay, you guys, I'm really sorry. I do not know why I keep getting shut down. It turns off. It says stream is interrupted. So just bear with me. I really don't think it's anything I'm doing. All right, I have added a kind of a darker peach now, just to soften these that magenta that we just used. It's kind of in the middle of the this magenta and the light pink. So we'll see what happens when it all melts. Again, the new channel will be linked. Actually, I think I already linked it in the description below below this video. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I would be super happy to see you over there. And then let me know if there's any type of video you would like me to do that I haven't done. Or again, pop your questions in the chat and hopefully I can catch them if they come on the screen again. I can catch them faster and see. I know you're probably waiting for the water part, right? Just want to get some of these shadows in quick. So I like to marry the colors. It just gives the piece an overall cohesiveness that otherwise you wouldn't quite find. Guess I could sharpen this one a little bit too. To get one more error on the screen, but it didn't shut me out this time. So I feel like that's progress. So this tip has like the fold of the petal. there's shadow on both sides. All right. I think I'm gonna put some color on the in the middle, just so it stays a little more balanced for me before I add the water. I said that, but now I feel like I found a couple more shadows that I didn't hit yet. So, hold on a sec. Okay, now we're just gonna add a little yellow. I know I don't want it to look this yellow, but I will layer it with like a tan or a light brown to kind of muddy it. I want to take some of that brightness out. And then one of my last steps is actually to use color pencils to help define edges and things like that, to give it a little more realism and make things pop. So we'll get there. I'm not sure I'll get there on this live stream, if it'll let me hold on or not. We'll see, little by little. You guys, I feel terrible that I cannot see any comments. It's driving me crazy. Can somebody just say hi again to see if I can, if it'll show up on the screen? And I am watching, I'm not looking at my drawing. I'm watching, and I'll see if it pops up, and then I'll tap on it, and maybe it'll take me to the rest of the chat. So ask a question. Okay, hi again. Thank you, Shreen. Hi again. Yes, I can see your comment. I cannot see the list, like the actual chat. You know how it shows up on the side? Hi V, I'm so glad you're here. I need tech support. You guys. Why isn't it showing up on the side? I feel like it should not be this difficult. There should just be a button on the screen, right? But there's not. There's a microphone button. Hi, Caroline. I'm so glad you're here. I cannot see. Oh my goodness. You guys, where is the chat button? They have something that says put user in timeout. I feel like I need a timeout. I am on my phone, Shireen. I'm on my phone because I put it up, you know, overhead, and that just works for me best. Yes, in the app, Caroline. So maybe it does just pop up on the screen, right? And I just have to be watching the screen. If I'm not on desktop, it's not going to show on the side. Does that make sense? Okay. So I kind of think that's where we're at. I think it's because I am on my phone, and on the app, it just pops up on the screen, and if I'm not looking at the screen, then I'm missing if you guys are saying anything. So, okay, according to Google, Shireen says your chat should be below the video player and you might need to swipe left. Oh, I shall try that. Okay, when I swiped left, then yours came back on the screen. Yes, you guys. Now I can see it. Okay, but I can't see, so, if you've been on since the beginning, we've been shut down 2 or 3 times now? I can't remember. So anything that was before Shireen said hi again at 3:24. Okay, so if you were one of the first commenters, I didn't see it and I still can't see it because we were shut off a couple times. But, okay, so thank you for my tech help, Shireen. All right, should we add some water? Let's do that. So I am using, let's see what brush. I have a couple favorites. These are my 3 favorites, different sizes. This is an 8, this is a 2, and this is also a 2, but they're by different makers, so that's why there's a little bit different. I actually like this one the best because I don't know, if you look closely, the black one, you can see kind of frayed bristles. And when you're trying to do tight drawings, that can sometimes make a mess. So I do like this one. We could use this one because we're not super tight yet, but I actually think I'm going to use this one because it will give us more water and more melting, which we need that to happen. So my water is off the screen here because my board is at an angle and water would not sit well at an angle. All right, so I'm going to start with the light pink. And I'm just going to drag it down into our shadows. And if you get too much water, I always work with a paper towel off to the side that I can just dab my brush on, and then when I just get the water out of my brush, and then I'll come back and dab my brush on the paper, and it soaks up some of that excess water. Again, it does not have to be perfect on this layer because we will have multiple layers to go. So again, I'm going light into dark, and then I kind of just let it melt there for a second. Okay, too much water. That's okay. Again, if you have any questions, whether it's about painting, new channel, old channel, drop them in the chat. I will try and look at my screen more. I'm just so grateful that you guys are here. I did shut my door in case my kids came in and I was talking to myself. That would feel weird. Slightly uncomfortable. But I am getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Doing these new things. I have two boys graduated now, and so I have two left at home, and we're still schooling and in the thick of it. Life is very full, but I heard a woman when I was a younger mom. I heard a woman say to always have a hobby, always have something for yourself, because it's such a good example for your kids to see you doing something that you love, not just doing what needs to be done, but using your time, your gifts, and your talents to do something that you love. And then also that you will have that when they leave. It's inevitable that they will move out, and I'm not going to talk much about that because I will probably cry because we are there. But yeah, it gives me a creative outlet, and it's therapeutic in lots of ways, just like being outside. So you see how that all blends together. I was talking about life stuff, but yes, my life outdoors and why I paint the outdoors. Yes, that blends together, and our illustration is blending together, isn't it? A little too much water for what I want to do here. So I just kind of dabbed it on a paper towel, and then we'll move some of that pigment around closer. Our shadows. Does anybody have peonies in their yard? And are they blooming yet? I moved. I had 5 peonies in a spot that they were blooming, but it was like a little bit too shady for them, and so I moved them this year. I thought I did it early enough, but they, I don't think they're gonna bloom. They are gonna make it. They'll survive, and so I'll have blooms next year. But I wish I moved them in the fall. I should have done that, but I didn't. But I just love cut peonies in the house. They smell so good. I'm not a fan of the ants. But what do you guys do for the ants if you bring them in? So the new channel, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. My new channel will have, it is going to mimic my Instagram channel. So I know I have two Instagram, but my main one is Outdoors with Heidi Joy. So same name. My new channel will mimic that Instagram channel. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep um, my illustrating channel or my illustrating Instagram going because I do want to marry these two because it just makes sense in my brain, and I just don't I don't want to I don't want to be on my screen all the time keeping up with two channels. Nobody, I shouldn't say nobody. I know there are people that do that. I do not want to do that. So my new YouTube channel is going to mimic my Instagram channel. So the videos will be uh, more of our family adventures, more in depth, and I think I'll be sharing more of our up north wanderings. We're building a cabin up there this summer, um, and so that's super exciting. We'll be able to spend more time up there. I told you there will be still my illustrations. Um, I don't know if I'll do any more lives. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Um, but I will share more time lapses and just more of my artistic process. And then really, I just want it to be a space of encouragement. I want to encourage others to enjoy the outdoors. You don't have to go anywhere fancy. You just got to get out. You got to quiet the noise. The world can be very loud. And God tells us to be still and know that He is God. And I don't know about you, but I do that best when I am outside in His creation. So, I want you to grow your roots, and I want to point you back to the Creator in this new channel. Does that sound like a plan? You ever get, if the water dries fast and you get these hard lines, you can kind of see one there. Usually you can just get your brush wet again. You might have to paint over it a couple times. If that doesn't work, you can always add another layer. And that should work. Here, got a little soft. See how that brown and the magenta melt together and they just make that warmer pink that goes better with our light pink that we started with. That's what I love about the watercolor. Watercolors in general is that they just blend together so well.